What's good, everybody, and you're watching JDN, and this is MyNBA World episode 25, and we will be looking at the star-studded regular season finale, and you don't want to miss the end of the video because I will be showing the play-in and who will be moving on to the NBA playoffs. Now the regular season finale of the New Orleans Pelicans going up against the Memphis Grizzlies. The winner of this game will be the #1 seed in the Western Conference. The new pairing of explosive Ja Morant and crafty Kyrie Irving has been unstoppable. And unlike the duo in Phoenix, the Grizzlies have good bigs in John Collins and Jaren Jackson Jr. The Pelicans are also a heavily stacked unit, possibly the most talented starting 5 and 6-man roster. The signing of Izzy Ball and DeJounte Murray has brought the playmaking and perimeter defense that the Pelicans needed. DeJounte Murray doesn't put up the numbers like he did in Atlanta or San Antonio, but DeJounte is a good boom or bust scorer while always being an elite perimeter defender. In this possible Game of the Year matchup, there was many physical plays and hard fouls, drawing in even the old heads into the game, and the Grizzlies core was struggling to hit shots on the road. And with the first seed on the line, the leaders Kyrie Irving and Ja Morant combined for 61 points on 44 shots to try to bring home the game. DeJounte Murray had one of his better offensive games, scoring 26 points with 5 steals, while the third-year player Izzy Ball scored 22 points with 7 rebounds and 6 assists tonight. Both teams' guards showing up heavily in the matchup, but debatably the best player on the court, Zion Williamson, led New Orleans with 31 points and 10 rebounds, continuing to be unstoppable near the basket, even when matched up against one of the best rim protectors in Jaren Jackson Jr. The most important regular season game for these two teams was going down to the wire. After nice passes from elite playmaker Izzy Ball, the Pelicans had a 1-point lead after a clutch Brandon Ingram 3. Kyrie Irving has a shot with under 15 seconds left, and DeJounte gets hit with the screen, but Kyrie still misses the shot in the clutch, and in transition, Izzy gets the ball, and he makes a questionable play. If it works, he will be praised as a genius, but if it doesn't work, he will be scrutinized for ruining the Pelicans' #1 seed. Memphis now have the ball, being down 1 point, and Kyrie Irving has the last shot, having to run down the court after Izzy's clock-chewing turnover. Kyrie goes for 3, and he will miss the shot. Kyrie Irving had a good look at that game winner, but DeJounte Murray will once again force the missed shot. And the New Orleans Pelicans will be the #1 seed in the Western Conference after beating the explosive Memphis Grizzlies. And Izzy Ball will be praised for the high IQ play, wasting precious time and forcing Memphis to have to run all the way down the court. The Pelicans have the best record now in the NBA, and New Orleans will have home court advantage for any matchup they have. And with the end of the regular season upon us, we will take a look at some of the regular season stats. The season high in points being a 58-point explosion by NBA's leading scorer Devin Booker. Booker having 3 50-plus point performances, and even the Bulls rookie St. Montgomery has a spot after a 49-point game versus the Thunder. And the season high points for rookies will be of course led by St. Montgomery, as well as the Orlando Magic guard Stephon Castleberry with his 45-point performance versus the Celtics. Castleberry suffered a serious shoulder injury and has missed the second half of the season though, so we'll have to see him next year to prove himself. The Rockets' #1 overall pick, OJ Tremblay, is the rookie leading scorer, while the Bulls' undrafted center, Kai James, is averaging the most points. For the awards, the final surprise player of the year candidates are in. The 2 undrafted Bulls rookies are some of the finalists. Second-year star Cam Johnson has been balling out for the Nuggets. Anthony Davis in the top 5 for his leading performance on the 60-win Lakers team after LeBron retiring. De'Aaron Fox, after a slow start with New York, has individually been dominant, being one of the best scorers in the league in the last 25 games of the year. And the winner of the surprise player of the year is undrafted Bulls rookie, the center Kai James. Some fans has compared Kai James to Joel Embiid's 2016-17 campaign, being a great rookie big man but not being on a winning team and missing a lot of the season. Kai James, after his amazing and shocking season, gives the Bulls fans some hope for the future. For the next award, we have the Offensive Player of the Year. The 2 leading scorers, Devin Booker and Jason Tatum, of course being candidates, while Jokic having a great season after his dominant near triple-double campaign. Booker's backcourt mate, Trae Young, also in the race, and the third-year player Izzy Ball in the top 5 after his great playmaking and scoring season. And the winner of the Offensive Player of the Year award will be Devin Booker. Booker winning the scoring champ while on a top 5 offense in the league made him a clear choice to win the award. Booker also nearly put up 50-40-90 splits this year with 48% field goal shooting, 38% from 3, and 90% free throw shooting. For the MVP, the Celtics superstar will end up winning the award. The second seed Boston Celtics have themselves the 2025 to 2026 MVP winner. KD, Morant, and Luka have been the previous winners, and Tatum will be stacked onto that list. And Boston is the second seed in the East, but Western teams like the Suns, Jazz, and Grizzlies have better records, but worse seeding, creating a dilemma of seeding versus record. The MVP award always having a good amount of confusion and disagreement. Jameer Ware will end up winning Most Improved after going from 3rd team All-NBA last season to being top 4 in the MVP race. Victor Wembanyama will bring home a trophy to a bad Pistons team. Wembanyama has been in the running for DPOY ever since his rookie year, but now in his 3rd season he will finally get his hands on the award. 6th Man of the Year was an easy pick. Tristan Kelly will win the award after averaging 17 points a game on a 55-win Denver team. And the big man compared to Boogie Cousins in his prime will win the Rookie of the Year. Kai James winning the Surprise Player of the Year and Rookie of the Year after going undrafted and having a phenomenal rookie year in Chicago. Now we take a look at the All-NBA teams. On the first team, there's no real surprises. Sadly, because of the 1 center per team rule, Jameer didn't end up making the first team, but for second team, we have both members of the Jazz duo, as well as the first 2 picks of the 2019 NBA draft. And then for the third team, the sophomore Cam Johnson surprisingly made the team, his great play being recognized by his peers. And Wembanyama and Izzy Ball will join Jameer as the 3 third-year players to make an All-NBA team this year. On the all-defensive first team, there's no real shocks. The league's most elite defenders are present. Paul Thompson, after his defensive first team last season with the Wizards, is now on the second team with the Lakers. Paul Thompson has now made a defensive team every season of his career, proving himself to be a dominant defensive player. On the all-rookie team, we have the undrafted Bulls duo as well as the first and second overall pick. And on the rookie second team, there's no real shocks either, besides that Jake Bean did not make a rookie team for the Pacers. And now looking at the playoff tree, the Western Conference may be one of the most tightly contested conferences in almost a decade, comparable to the 2015 and 2016 seasons. 2 teams winning 60 or more games in the NBA has been done 24 times in league history, and only 3 teams have neither 60-win team made it to the NBA Finals, making the Lakers and Pelicans obvious favorites to make the finals. Looking at some lower seeds, the 3 Texas teams will be in the play-in, making it the 3rd year straight the Rockets have been in the play-in. Every year they have advanced to the 8th seed. The 48 and 47 win Pacers and Magic both have to win to advance to the playoffs, while the 2 42 win Sixers and Nets have to match up, whoever losing gets eliminated, and the other having to beat the 7 or 8 seed to make the final playoff spot. And with the end of the season recapped, we now have the first play-in matchup. The East 7 and 8 seed will be matching up. Whoever winning goes on to play the Boston Celtics. The Orlando Magic and Indiana Pacers both nearly won 50 games, yet they still have to prove themselves in the play-in. The Pacers having the advantage on paper, especially after trading for Bradley Beal from Washington. But with this only being a one-and-done situation, the Magic just need to catch fire to walk away with the first playoff spot. Both of these Eastern Conference teams being led by their young stars, and tonight Tyrese Halliburton seemed more relaxed than Banchero with the home court advantage. The Pacers seemingly always had the slight edge over Orlando, controlling the pace and tempo of the game. The Magic was always down 4 to 8 points throughout the night, forcing the young and inexperienced core to step it up if they wanted a shot at winning. And Orlando tried to put on a run to bring the game closer, but in the end, the Pacers kept their slight lead throughout the game. And with the miss to end the night, the Magic will end up losing 125 to 120 to the Indiana Pacers. The Pacers will advance to match up against the 2 seed Boston Celtics, while the Magic have to play the winner of the Sixers vs Brooklyn series. Speaking of Brooklyn and Philadelphia, the 9 and 10 seed in the East will be going up against each other in the play-in. The loser will be eliminated from playoff contention, while the winner will play the Magic for a chance to go against the Heat in the first round. Both teams are a 42-win unit. The Sixers have more star power, while the Brooklyn Nets are more of a deep team, led by Shai Gilgeous and 2 sophomores, William Wilson and Demetrius Augustine. The sophomore guard, Augustine, has made major improvements to his playmaking skills. In Toronto, Demetrius never seemed to be any more than a scorer, but after getting traded to Brooklyn, his full skill set is on display. The 76ers may be the better team on paper, but the lack of chemistry of the star duo of Kawhi Leonard and Embiid has made this team vulnerable. You can't really blame them. Kawhi and Embiid both missed plenty of time throughout the year due to nagging injuries. In many other years, this 76ers team could have been a championship unit, but in such a skilled league, Philadelphia only sits at the 9th seed in the East. And tonight, the Brooklyn Nets were not playing around, creating a 13-point lead with less than 2 minutes remaining. With the upset nearly completed, all the Nets needed to do was not to mess up. But with such dominant weapons in Embiid and Kawhi, the 76ers clawed their way back, hitting multiple threes to get the game close, and after a 9-0 Sixers run, the Nets let the sophomore William Wilson control the play. And he drives and he will shock the entire league with a 360 dunk to put the Nets up by 6 with less than a minute left. The Philadelphia crowd stunned, the eventual realization that their team was going to be knocked out of the play-in setting in. And Embiid attempted to make a comeback, but after a clutch Xavier Booker block, a play we've seen Booker do last episode versus Charlotte, the game was over. William Wilson's game-winning highlight play will be extra salt in the wound for Philadelphia, as the Brooklyn Nets will move on to play the Orlando Magic to decide their playoff future. Moving on to the Western Conference, the 45-win 7th seed Warriors go up against the 40-win 8th seed Dallas Mavericks. The Mavs team has gotten into many conversations of not surrounding Luka with enough talent. The Mavs have missed out on star players like Kyrie, Paul Thompson, Izzy Ball, Kevin Durant, and many others throughout the years. Many are wondering if Luka will be looking into leaving Dallas. The Mavs going under 500 seems to create some room for rumors like this to come alive. The Warriors struggled in the first half of the year, but after going 23-12 in the final 35 games in the regular season, the Warriors have gained some extra momentum going into the play-in. This may be Steph Curry's last year in the NBA, and even though the Warriors are a solid 45-win team, the West is just so jam-packed with talent, it seems unlikely for the Warriors to make any miracle run this year. But tonight, the Mavericks had no chance in this matchup versus Golden State. Luka Doncic struggling, shooting 8 for 25 from the field with 5 turnovers, and the Warriors will win the game 130-117 and move on to play the Los Angeles Lakers in the first round. The next game we have is the 9th seed and 10th seed going up against each other in the West. The battle for Texas, the San Antonio Spurs playing the Houston Rockets in Houston. The Spurs have been an interesting bad team. The young star John Cookly may be able to leave soon in free agency. Cookly has had no talent surrounding him ever since he was drafted 6th overall, and John Cookly has made comments that made it seem like he's open to moving his talent to other organizations. The talented big man with skills like a guard played well versus Houston, putting up a double-double against DeAndre Ayton, but Houston's young core showed up tonight, especially the great scorer Jalen Green. Green scored 34 points on 60% field goal shooting, and the Rockets knock out the San Antonio Spurs out of the play-in, while the Rockets will play the 8th seed Dallas Mavericks, and the Rockets will have to prove themselves versus a more experienced team. And for many doubters, Houston did just that. Many expected Luka to light up Houston and Dallas like he's done for many years, but when the Houston Rockets showed that they were serious about getting to the playoffs, it was clear this game was going to be close. The first overall pick, OJ Tremblay, was on fire from 3 to start the game, going 4 for 4 from 3-point land in the first quarter, while Luka Doncic managed 17 points, 7 assists, and 6 rebounds in just the first half. Jalen Green showed up as a solid, consistent scorer tonight, just like he did against San Antonio. The Mavericks scoring guard also played well, the newly acquired Zach LaVine hitting some nice shots to try to pull away, but no matter what the Dallas defense threw at Houston, it never seemed to matter. The lack of perimeter defense clearly showing for Dallas, allowing the star Houston guards to dominate the game. Jalen Green and OJ Tremblay put up an amazing performance on the road, and with the disappointing loss, the Dallas Mavericks front office may have to worry if the Luka Doncic leaving rumors are true. Houston win by 3, advancing to the 8th seed, and will be matching up against New Orleans in the first round, while Dallas will go home empty-handed. The final play-in match we have is the 10 seed Brooklyn Nets going up against the 8 seed Orlando Magic. The Orlando Magic for sure had to watch some more William Wilson film going into the game. Wilson has been showing out of late, having a sort of Linsanity type run. No matter what, he just steps up when this team is needing it most. And with this being Brooklyn's most important game of the year, William Wilson and company will have to step it up more than ever. Shai Gilgeous started the game off hot, and after hitting a tough and one on Paolo Banchero, Shai already started to talk some trash in just the first quarter. The Magic's head coach, Stephen Silas, has been solid with the Orlando Magic, helping lead the organization to a 47-win season. Silas opted to put a great perimeter defender, LaGuarce Dort, on William Wilson, and Dort did make life tough for Wilson, the star defender giving Orlando energy off the bench, and the Magic have some of the best perimeter defenders in the league with Gary Payton II and LaGuarce Dort, making Brooklyn have to fight for their shots to go in, even the easy ones. The Nets kept fighting right at the Magic, the ultra-talented guard, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, leading the way for Brooklyn, scoring 38 points versus Orlando. Even against some of the scrappiest on-ball defenders, the young star power of the Nets seemed to always outpower the Orlando Magic. This has been a disappointing end to the year for the Magic, being 6 wins over 500, yet not making out of the play-in. The Nets fight their way out to a playoff berth as the 10th seed. This Nets team gives flashes of the 2019 Nets, and they'll be playing the Miami Heat in the first round. Obviously, the Nets being the extreme underdog, yet many still expect this Brooklyn team to put up a solid fight. The playoff matchups are officially set, and this is going to be very interesting. Izzy Ball will be going up against his former team in the first round, while Kevin Durant as well will match up against his former squad. The first round will be very entertaining and competitive, and we will be seeing the playoffs unfold next video. And thank you everybody for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed. If you liked this content, then comment down below, like the video, and subscribe. I most likely will end this series after this year, but if y'all really want this content to stay around, then y'all gotta comment down below. I really need to see how much support this will get, especially if this will be more of a every 2-3 weeks upload instead of every 1 week. I'm looking to do other stuff, mainly Madden. I definitely will go back to 2K, but Madden is what I'm very interested in, especially since when I'm done with this series, it will only be a couple months away from the NFL season, but of course, that will also be during the NBA playoffs, so I still may do NBA content during that time. We'll just have to see. I'll see how much y'all support this video and support this series, and I will see y'all guys next time. Thank y'all for the support, and peace.